Well, welcome into Bon Appetit. If it's fall, it's time for the Alabama National Fair. 70 years it's been going on in the Montgomery area. One of the key things there is the creative living area. It's a must-see when you go to the fair because there's cooking demonstrations, and Melissa Welch is here, Cook of the Year, Baker of the Year, and you've been doing this for a number of years, haven't you?
About the past 5 years, yes.
Wow.
I'm honored to have gotten both of them this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hard work, a lot of good cooks in the competition.
Wasn't
So
that
I'm
nice?
honored.
That's right. And today we're going to be doing everybody's favorite mac and cheese. Little kids love it, and adults love it also.
They do. They do. Of course, this was one of the categories that we had, and I'm like, what can I do to make it different? So I started looking for all kind of different recipes, and then I thought, no, macaroni and cheese doesn't need anything else but good cheese and just needs to be creamy and good. And we have to name our dishes as we put them on the recipe. So this is Southern Comfort macaroni and cheese because I couldn't think of a more comforting food than macaroni and cheese when it's good and hot. So
we won't tell you what her husband's named his. His was the big boy one, huh?
His was.
Got third place, but
it's had a lot of things
number
in it. But they all look so good, and when everybody put them up on the tables and made the displays, it smelled wonderful in the Creative Living Center. I have to say that the Creative Living Center is open for more people to come. We'd love to see it. We'd love to have the competition. And,
Amen.
And it's a fun thing. It's a little hectic when you're trying to get there and you decide on a recipe and then you make it. You actually cook it at home, but you take it and you do a table display, about a 3x3 section of table, and then you put your food out, and live judges, they judge it live there, and you sit and wait and wonder, and then they delegate and
bingo.
Right, and it's exciting.
And then you get blue ribbons.
But there are many categories this year, different ones, and it's going to be an exciting year.
Great.
It's going to be exciting.
So let's see how we get this wonderful dish together.
Okay, this is really simple, and a recipe that I kind of went by and I tweaked it to something that I like is Jim and Nick's macaroni and cheese. And if you've ever had Jim and Nick's macaroni and cheese, it's probably one of the best to me that you can get in a restaurant away from home. So I begin this macaroni and cheese. Of course, you simply boil your noodles and cook them according to package directions and get them done. You want them done and remember to have enough salt in the water so that the noodles actually have some taste.
Yes.
Or otherwise, they're pretty much like the box. They don't taste well. But cook your noodles and drain and set them aside. And then in a skillet, it's butter and flour. You make that together. You cook that to make kind of like a roux. You're going to make a white sauce. You cook that very slowly so that you don't want it to brown. You don't want it to have any color to it. And you have milk that's hot. Then you add the milk, and it bubbles up much like making gravy when you're making gravy for a dish.
And you say milk that's hot. Do you heat up the milk?
You heat the milk, and it's whole milk. It'll get thick, and to that you add in white pepper, which has a little very distinct flavor over black pepper, and it gives just a little extra kick. Your black pepper and salt. And then to that, you're going to add sour cream, about 3/4 cup of whole sour cream, which gives it a little bit of tart to cut that. It just makes it really good. And then
it gives it a little bit of body too.
It does. It does. It's really creamy when you get that sour cream in there. But then I used 3 different cheeses on this, and I used a Parmesan cheese, a extra sharp cheddar cheese. And then I found the taste that I was going for was from a Mexican cheese of all things, but not a Mexican cheese that has taco seasoning or any seasoning with it. But this blend has 4 different cheeses which make it really good and creamy. So I take the noodles, butter the dish, and this will make a huge 9x13 pan. You can divide it. You can half this recipe if you don't need that much, or it freezes. But I put the macaroni and cheese in, and then I put cheese between a couple of layers of it, and then I put cheese on top, brown it. You can brown it if you'd like. It takes about 25 minutes to heat through. So
was this they were showing here, this was browned?
This is not completely browned on top, but it is done, and you'll see it's just browning around the edges. But you can brown it because some people like that brown cheese on top.
A little bit more of a bite.
Right.
Yep.
But you bake it, and it's just delicious.
Good.
So
Are you going to climb into
I
it?
am. I'm gonna
Are we
dig.
going to climb in?
I'm gonna dig in. But
And while Melissa's doing that, as you see on the set here, we have a cookbook. It's a fair cookbook, and they've taken since the year 2002 to 2023, I think. Well, 22, because when they put it together in a book, they sell them for $15.
Right.
All the first place winners over that period of time. So the recipes, you can get them in the book or on the screen. We will email you all these recipes. We'll mail them also, but we would prefer to email them because it's a lot easier, especially because we're going to be doing 5 different shows on winners from the fair, so that's the best way to do it.
That's right. Last year was the last year. So these recipes are new because they were in the competition for 23. So these are new. They're going to have to contact you to get them.
Not going to be in the book. You have to get the appendix. Right. We're the appendix. Amen. Well, Melissa, thank you so much. Always wonderful food. Remember the Alabama National Fair, October 4th through the 14th. 11 days. 11 days of fun in Montgomery, Alabama. And we'll be right back right after this.